another way to look at the unbothered and peace thing, right? Because it's great to be unbothered, it really is. But to be at peace is a whole nother level of levels. Let's just put it that way. Hey Cupid Titties, and welcome back to Cutie Nails and More. So cuties, I want to welcome everyone that's new. Good morning, good afternoon, good day, good night, good evening, whatever time of the day it is that you're watching. And to my loyal cuties who consistently come back and support me, thank you so much for watching my video today. So as you guys know, I am on a journey in life and I want to take you guys along with me. So thank you to the cuties that, gave me encouraging words and are supporting me through this journey. But kind of where I started is kind of where I want to, catch you up to where I'm at now. And as you guys can see from today's thumbnail, the topic of today's video is finding your peace and giving yourself grace. And that's something that I had to learn or pretty much understand as I went through this journey in my life to bringing me to where I am today. And I'm still growing and learning, and I'm just excited for what's going to come ahead. So I wanted to share with you guys, if there's anyone out there who's also wanting to just make a change in life, understanding and realizing that it's time for things to be a bit different for them, or they're not so happy with the way things are going. Maybe this is the video for you. If it's not, then it's okay. Thank you for watching anyway. But I just want to share with you guys, I am by far not a therapist, not a theologist, not anything other than who I am. And I just want to share this journey with you guys. So I'm going to open up my book, get to my notes, and talk about some key points that, I had to think through and process and put into practice and live through, these last couple months. I would say 6 months or more. So it's still a journey, y'all, a lot of things. So that way you guys can be a part of the process as much as I want y'all to be a part of the process. Because I don't want to say, hey, I'm on a life journey and don't give y'all nothing. It makes no sense. Again, today's topic is finding your peace and giving yourself grace. So one thing I had to learn, that peace is intentional. Like, you can't just say, oh, I need peace in my life, and then just sit there. It doesn't work. You truly have to want it. You have to be intentional about attaining your peace. So it's like trying to understand or determine for yourself, what does your life of peace look like? Is it stepping away from drama? Is it disconnecting or detaching from like toxic people, friends, relationships? Like, what does your life of peace look like? Once you understand it, it's also a part of knowing what you want in life. If your life is filled with toxicity, consistent drama, you feel like there's no like peaceful plane in your life. When you think about your life, it's like, why am I even here? I don't want to do this anymore. Why am I going through this? It's time for you to get intentional about the peace that you want in your life. Like, you can keep saying it from now till next year, but being intentional about it is really critical in attaining that peace that you're looking for in your life. And I wanted peace in my life. I wouldn't say that my life was just like the super crazy thing, but once I started noticing particular things in particular people in my family, to include myself, I just wanted out of it. And I wanted peace. I really wanted peace in my life. And we'll get more into what I mean about peace, because peace is not just something that you could just say and it comes about. It's actually like a state of being. And once you have that state of being, everything outside kind of just falls into place. At least it did for me. Everybody's journey is different. So pretty much understanding what that life of peace looks like for you is important in your journey to moving forward and being intentional about creating that life of peace for yourself. Along the roads of being intentional about attaining peace in your life, you have to be forgiving of yourself. And this is where the grace part comes in, y'all. You have to make peace with yourself and own up to your truth. And I'm looking at my notes. So this is like all my thoughts that I had put down while I was going through this process. Making peace with yourself and owning up to your truth, giving yourself grace in your journey because you'll need it. It's crazy because as I went through this journey of attaining this peaceful life that I wanted, I had to come to terms with who I was. And I told y'all, like, I never thought at 39 years old I'd really be understanding who I am or really knew who I was. I thought I knew who I was all this time, but a lot of who I was attached to my profession. Y'all know, well, most of you guys know I did 20 years active duty in the Army. So I thought that life was who I was. But when you think about it, I never truly had a life outside of the Army. I joined at 17, a couple months after I turned, well, not even a couple months, like a couple weeks after I turned 18, I was off to basic training. And all I've known was the Army. Everything I've done was in relation to the Army, was in relation to the rules and regulations and my schedule and deployments and everything else. So I thought I knew who I was and my way of being was okay. But once I retired from the Army, I was lost. I was trying to figure out how to dress, how to carry myself in the civilian world, how to be a mom that doesn't have this restrictive schedule anymore, how to be a wife. I was just trying to figure out all these things. And then it hit me like, you don't know who you are. So in discovering who I was, I needed to give myself a lot. Taking this military approach to how I was dealing with people and dealing with things, and that's not how it is in the civilian world. So I had to give myself some grace to grow through that and understand the difference and understand who I was outside of that, who I am outside of what my past experiences shaped me to be. So once I figured out who I was, it took a lot of patience with me. It took a lot of journaling my truth, the existence of me, journaling my understanding of me, journaling where I wanted to go, where I wanted to be, and being intentional about that process. And grace was a big thing, because without the grace, without forgiving myself, is so much more that I could throw into that pot, but it's unnecessary. I feel like you guys, understand, or at least I'm now understanding the point of what I'm trying to make. Like, I have to be forgiving of myself. I can't hold anything against myself if I'm trying to strive towards a peaceful life, y'all. It took a lot. It took a lot of grace, and it took a lot of forgiving. And I've honestly transformed into this person that I'm just happy to be honest with you guys. I'm happy. I feel more free. I feel more comfortable, and I see it carrying over into the realms of how I am as a mom, how I am in my relationship, how I am, interacting with other people. And I love that I was able to be very forgiving of myself, let go of certain things, and, just giving myself the grace and the space that I needed to grow in pursuit of. You have to be deliberate about what that life of peace looks like for you and make it happen. Being deliberate in a sense of knowing exactly what it is that you want and make it happen. Like I said earlier, you can't just say, I want this life of peace, and then just sit there. You have to be intentional, be deliberate, and go after it and put things into place in order for it to come true for you. So a couple things, like I said, I wrote in my journal. I just recently created a vision board. I do a digital vision board. I pretty much built it in Canva. Many of you may have a lot of experience with Canva. I went in there, I built my vision board. I put my pictures on there that I was looking for with the type of aesthetic I was looking for. I threw some words on there that meant something to me. The pictures also mean something to me. And it's my screensaver on my phone. And I see it every time I open my phone, because we're on our phone a lot throughout the day. And every time I pick up my phone, it's there, and it reminds me of the things that I have in place to attain and maintain my peace in my life. Do the same thing, the peaceful life that you're looking for. You create that vision board with intent and purpose. Make it a digital one, throw it up on your phone. I know phones, these days, I sound like an old person, right? Nowadays, phones are synced to tablets and laptops and everything else. So you can make that your screensaver throughout. And every time you open your laptop, your tablet, your phone, whatever, it's there. And it's a consistent reminder of how deliberate you have to be when it comes to that. Is very important to me, and you guys know I prayed about it. Through giving myself grace and forgiving myself, I prayed like crazy. I wrote down my prayers, I prayed some more, and I prayed some more, and I prayed some more, because I knew exactly what it was that I wanted, and I was going to do something about it, and I was going to attain that life of peace that I was looking for. But ultimately, you have to do something about it for it to become a reality for you. You can't just sit back and just say, I want peace in my life, and do nothing about it. Those are just a couple examples of what you can do to be deliberate about attaining the life of peace that you want. Those are some of the things that I did in a deliberate effort to attain the life of peace that I wanted. My most important definitely being prayer, and then things like the vision board, and journaling was stuff that subsequently came after as I went through the process, and just pretty much not wanting to forget my thoughts and my process of how, I went through this. Most importantly, it serves as a reminder for me on where I was and where I'm heading to, and it helps me see my progress based on where I am now today, this very day. It has helped me see my progress, and I can go back and think about it and rehash my thoughts and my ideas about some of the stuff that I wrote, and I've seen that my vision or my understanding may have changed about that. So then I'll go in and make like little notes and stuff in my journal in regards to any particular topic that is coming across in a way that you guys are able to understand. If you want to put this into practice, it's totally up to you. There is no, force. It's not by force. I'm not forcing anybody to do anything. I'm just sharing where I am with you guys and how I'm able to live in peace and love that peace and give myself grace consistently as I go through this. I hear the word unbothered a lot. I really do. And I know y'all are hearing it too, and y'all see it on YouTube and you see it everywhere else, right? But in this process, I had to understand that I couldn't mistake peace for being unbothered. What I mean by that, right? Being unbothered, it takes like consistent effort, if you will. I can say like, I'm just not going to be bothered by this. But the minute a trigger happens, now I'm bothered by it. It's not something that you could just get over overnight. To me, being unbothered is not an overnight thing, and neither is finding your peace. But some people mistake peace with being unbothered, and unbothered with peace. Yeah, that's what I mean. Some people mistake being unbothered with being at peace, but the consistent effort that it takes to not be bothered by something can fall apart very easily with one little trigger. And sometimes you may think, okay, it's been like 2 months, 2 weeks, 3 months, I'm going good, I'm not bothered. And then it be the person you least expect or a stranger on the street. There's that trigger, and now you're bothered again. Or you might see a comment in your YouTube if you create content, and now you're bothered. Like, to me, it doesn't make sense to just be unbothered by things. It makes more sense rather to seek a pathway to being at peace with something. So when that trigger does come about, I'm able to recognize it and I'm able to address it in the way that it needs to be addressed. So that way I'm not sitting here losing hours pondering on this or being provoked by it or being worked up by it or whatever. Look at the unbothered and peace thing, right? Because it's great to be unbothered, it really is. But to be at peace is a whole nother level of levels. Let's just put it that way. Being at peace is where I am striving to be, consistently striving to be, because like I said, it's something that is going to take continuous work because life is going to continue to keep lifing. We can't stop that. So another way to look at unbothered and peace, unbothered is an adjective and peace is a noun, right? So let me give y'all a little definition. Like y'all can't already go into Webster's dictionary and look it up, but the definition of unbothered is not feeling or showing agitation, worry, or annoyance, not bothered, right? When I read this definition, I get like a pretense, which holes can be poked into. So like I could show that I'm not agitated, but really on the inside, I'm agitated about it. Really on the inside, my mind is spinning wheels, thinking about it. I'm worried about it. I'm annoyed by it. And then hours have passed by in this state that I don't want to be in, right? And it also gives off to me the fake it till you make it type of thing. And I mean, that's cool for certain things, but not when it comes to my peace. I'm not going to fake peace till I make it. I'm going to be intentional about this and deliberate about what that peace looks like for me. So the definition of peace now is a state of tranquility or quiet, such as freedom from disquieting or oppressive thoughts or emotions. And y'all can look this up in Webster's dictionary. That's where I got both of the definitions for unbothered and peace. And there's a difference you guys can see right there about peace. It's a state of being. For me, it's a fact. It's a pinnacle of accomplishment within one's being that's a solid truth. Like me being at peace is a truth. Me being unbothered can be true at times and not true at times based on what's going on in life. So once I understood the definition of both, I knew peace was what I wanted to go after, and that is where I committed to attaining that idea of peace that you're setting out to attain in your life. You have to be committed to it. It is not a journey for the weak. It is not a journey for anyone that's afraid to see themselves for who they are, afraid to see their environment for what it is. And it is not a journey for someone who is afraid to walk away from people and things, right? In attaining your peace, in this commitment to attain your peace, you have to do the work. Simple as that. That work may look like therapy. It may look like meditation. It may look like identifying your triggers and facing your own red flags. We like to talk about other people's red flags, but point out your own red flags, look at yourself in the mirror and face it head on. Whatever help you seek. A great part of that is keeping your space, your environment, your vibe, your energy clean. When I tell y'all, you ever heard of this saying? Well, not necessarily a saying, but some like older folks used to say, you can't take everyone with you. And I know some of y'all have heard that before. Being from the islands, I've heard that a lot. Can't take everyone with you. When I tell y'all I had to clean my space, I had to not take everybody with me on this journey. Because when I tell y'all I was intentional about what I wanted, because I know who I am and I know what I want, and the peace, that vibe was just not connecting with those people, with that atmosphere, I had to let it go. And I had to come to terms with myself on letting those people go, letting those things go, because my peace is very important to me. Attaining it was so super important to me because me being at peace affected a lot of people around me, especially my children. The atmosphere around you and the people of importance that's around you, that's affected by you not having the peace. And living that life of not being at peace, even though my children were of importance to me, there was other people in my life, me not having that peace, my vibe and my energy affected them as well. So sometimes it's best to let some people go in order for life to be great for both of y'all, for all of y'all, for the entire community. Understand, right? That when those connections were severed, that it was okay, that it was completely okay, because everybody around you can't go with you where you're headed. And if your peace does not have them in it, it's okay. It's okay. It is going to be okay. Trust me. I don't know how many times I had to pray about that. I cried about it, and I had to come to the realization that it will be okay. All right. So like I said in the beginning, sometimes it means detaching from family members that you just never thought you could not be away from or you needed in your life. But when your peace is a priority and it is of the utmost importance to you, detaching, it's okay. It's okay to detach. At the end of it all, in my journey to attaining peace and giving myself grace, prayer was a critical thing for me. And it will always be a critical thing for me. I'm not trying to proselytize to anyone. Everyone's faith is their faith. All right. I'm not bashing anybody's faith or anything like that. But for me, seeking God is always a critical thing for me. And in order for me to get to where I am now, and I still feel like I can achieve so much more peace in my life, and which ultimately is going to make me a happier person in life, I am going to continue to seek the face of God. So with that being said, I'm going to share with you guys some scriptures about peace, having peace in your life, attaining peace, seeking peace. I'm not going to leave this video without showing God the gratitude for helping me to accomplish this life of peace that I've been pursuing and helping me to maintain it. So the first scripture is, it shows how God commands us to seek peace, right? It comes from Psalms 34:14. Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. All right? It's plain and simple. Depart, detach from certain things to pursue the good for yourself in life. And by detaching, you can seek that peace and pursue it wholeheartedly with full commitment in order to live that life of peace, attain it, live it, and maintain it. We should make every effort to do what leads to peace. And the scripture that coincides with my thought process on that is Romans 14:19. Let us therefore follow after the things which make for peace and things wherewith one may edify another. Me living my life of peace affects the ones around me and brings peace to my family as well. Remember how I talked about me understanding that everybody can't go with me and keeping my space, my energy, and my vibe clean in order to attain that peace, because it trickles over to the ones around me. That's what that scripture, stands out to me in that particular part of my journey. I wanted to live this life of peace. I had to understand what it is that I wanted, what I wanted this life of peace to look like. And also I had to understand who would be involved and who would not be involved. And I had to pray through it and understand that things would be okay. Everybody's journey is different. And trust me, you have to trust the outcome. The process looks hard in the beginning. It can be very hard. It can lead to a lot of tears, but at the end of it, it's so gratifying. And it is so so great to be at such a peaceful state in your life, because when you're at peace, you do everything to maintain that, and you live a certain way, and you don't allow other people to come in and destroy that. To be able to share with you guys. Make sure you guys leave me a comment down below. And cutie patooties, I hope everyone is doing great. Remember that God loves you most importantly. And as always, I'll most definitely talk to you guys in my next one. Bye.